Jennifer Love Hewitt back in the cut, she used to be her. Like, that was the baddest chick working in the industry, and she was the it girl. If you had a teenage comedy romance that you wanted to get off the ground, you would go ahead and make the call to her. She was everywhere. And then, well, there's just certain biological imperatives ended up happening, and well, she just seemingly vanished as quickly as she showed up. Well, what happened? What happened? Well, now she's returned back to the spotlight, and what is she doing? The exact same thing that they all do. Pull up the ladder right behind them. The same thing that brought them to the dance is now it's a curse, and it's a blight, and oh, how did I let myself be taken advantage of? Even though you knew exactly what you were doing at the time. It never fails. Man, like sands through the hourglass, so are these talentless bitches trifling. Jennifer Love Hewitt pulled a director aside who told her she needed to act sexier. She replied, "I don't know what that means. I'm only 23. Stop it. Stop it. Get out of here." Jennifer Love Hewitt appeared on the Inside of You podcast and revealed she once had to pull a filmmaker aside on set because he was telling her she had to be sexier. As an actor in her early 20s, she was 23, okay? 5 years removed from adulthood. Like, come on now. Hewitt had no idea what such a request even meant. Like, you can't think. Okay, first of all, I don't believe this story at all. But I also don't think that you believe that the general public is this stupid. Like, you could have convinced some simps back in the cut that maybe this was true. But you're not 23 anymore, okay? Far from it. She said that she never felt like she was in her body as an actor, and she was constantly sexualized from a young age. Well, here's the thing, man. Women can't be sexualized unless they sexualize themselves first. And she spent her entire 20s, and hell, it looks like what? Yeah, her late teens? Sexualizing herself, because I see a name that's right there that might be a name that I haven't heard in a long time, but you're gonna know here real quick. I didn't feel self-confident. I felt watched. I felt like I had to be everything for everybody all the time, Hewitt said. I was called sexy before I even knew what sexy was. Stop it. I was 17 years old on the cover of Maxim. It's a men's magazine. You know exactly why you're there. I could imagine what you were dressed in, okay? 17 years old, okay, what are they doing, okay? Like, there are other chicks that are out there. Why do you have to put a 17-year-old on the cover? I understand that there can be some people going, well, actually, the age of... No, just go with 18. 18's legal, okay? Just, you don't have to futz around with age of consent stuff. What are you, creeps? And I have no idea why I was on the cover of Maxim. Come on. Don't take us for the double-digit IQ apologetic class that are actually going to eat this up. I was honored. I loved it. But why? I was honored. I loved it, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was just a kid. I remember doing Heartbreakers at 23, and the director was like, we just need you to be sexier. And I had to pull him aside and be like, I don't know what that means. I'm only 23. And he's like, are you serious? I know that I'm supposed to be this thing for people, but I don't know what that means. I had to help me figure it out. Heartbreakers was directed by David Merkin and starred Hewitt opposite Sigourney Weaver. The two actors led the 2001 comedy as a mother-daughter con artist team. But you were supposed to seduce somebody, and I didn't know how to be sexy at all, but oh my god, yeah. But she slams being sexualized in her 20s. I felt like I was being watched. And yeah, now, okay, somebody who is no longer 17, thank God, 23, unfortunately, 44 years old. Geez, why is she now reflecting on every opportunity that she was afforded to her? Because at the time, she was this. That's a bad bitch right there. That is top tier stuff. And now, at 44... she doesn't quite look the same. Some people will go ahead and apologize for her, but though you can hear the crying from that crushed suede right there. And to be completely honest, before she, slithered into them drawers, it wasn't crushed beforehand. 44-year-old was surely the it girl in Hollywood throughout the 90s and 2000s, and a career making hits such as Party of Five, Heartbreakers, Can't Hardly Wait, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Oh shit, she was in that, right. Hewitt is over trolls who keep comparing how she looks now to how her body looked in the early 20s. Well, to be completely honest, nothing is stopping you from having that Well, a similar body. Obviously, things aren't going to be in the same place as they used to, but you control every calorie that goes into your mouth. So yeah, she was a looker, the client list star said about her physique back in the day while chatting on a recent episode of The Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, ding, podcast. But also, that 23 and 25-year-old body, or that 23, 25-year-old wasn't in her body. Oh my God. Stop it. I felt watched. I felt like I had everything and everybody all the time. Not that I had to be everything for everybody all the time. It's called Sexy before I knew what it was. Is that supposed to be sexy? 2002, she recalled being told to be sexier on the set of the rom-com Heartbreakers. As we've seen before, Hewitt then noted she struggled with people's perception of her. Yeah, because that's how she was marketed. Just like that. No other additional description. It was just simply, this is Jennifer Love Hewitt. You know why she's going to be in this film. You know exactly what this film is going to be about. Less said, the better. You were, for better or worse, whether you knew it or not, a sex symbol of the day. And good for you. You definitely pulled it off. But now, because you aren't getting those same calls as you used to, because I don't know how I got here. I don't know why I was cast in all these situations. I didn't know what sexy was. Because you had no idea, you know exactly what you were doing. But you want to feign all of this ignorance, and instead now you just want to go ahead and shame the industry that made your name famous to begin with. It's just the next evolution in the same grift. It's the exact same thing with all of those OnlyFans chicks that just hop on there at the age of 20, and now we're starting to see some of these chicks age out and find the Lord, and all of a sudden now they're going to be born-again virgins. It's the exact same cycle. We've seen it time and time and time again. Women will go ahead and maximize their peak sexuality years only for them to not end up, getting that final bag at the end, feeling like they missed out on something, and then just turning it all on everybody else. No, I was being used and abused in that situation. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just a young kid at 23. The world was at my fingertips. I had everything that I wanted. Everybody was so nice to me, but now I have to buy my own drinks at the bar. And what happened? Where did all the good men go? She went on, it's weird for me. It's weird. Well, when people are like, that's the girl that we wanted you to be. That girl was so insecure and so confused and trying her best. No. They don't actually give a shit about that point, okay? They just want this chick right here. It's like, do you know where she's at? You go get a hold of her because we got some roles for her. But you right now, if you just want to go ahead and run back whatever this is, well, you're just adding additional pages to this story that are totally ancillary to the ultimate plot. But this girl, she may not look that way. I like who I am. I feel good. I'm fine. To echo the timeless words of one great Tywin Lannister, anyone who says that they feel good, feel fine, is not in fact good or fine. She still has her moments though. I mean, not every day. There's definitely times when I look in the mirror and it's like, oh dear God, what has happened? Yeah, this is another thing because she probably also doesn't detail the number of pills that she scarfs down every day. These chicks, man, we're going to see them in greater numbers. We're just seeing right now the fallen stars from the 90s and 2000s. These are chicks that weren't even hitting like that on social media, okay? Because, yeah, you got chicks like this everywhere on Instagram, okay? Not even going as far as, like OnlyFans and all that stuff. But now that stuff has been around for a decade. So those chicks that came on when they were, 27, 28 years old are now hitting mid-30s, realizing that, oh God, a new crop of chicks are coming in every single day, having to reconcile with the fact that, I know that I marketed and I made the most out of my sexuality. I know that, that was everything that I was selling at the time. And to once again to shadow an old talking point of the late, great Patrice O'Neal. Okay, these chicks, okay, they came into the NBA and they dominated the league by just simply driving right to the rim and throwing it down. Now that there's a younger crop of kids coming into the league, they had to develop a jump shot. They have to develop a mid-range game, but these chicks never did as much, okay? She could have worked on her acting talent. Did she? No, man, she was still getting roles because she looked like that. She didn't realize that in order to prolong your career, something that, Joan Collins perfected decades prior, knowing that, right now I'm getting a lot of opportunities given how I look, but if I'm going to have longevity in this business, I'm going to have to do a whole hell of a lot more than that. That's the breaks. But here's the thing, okay? That's a unique benefit of young actresses that are out there, because through no actions of her own, she was born like that, okay? And she was afforded all of those opportunities. She ultimately ended up squandering the bag. When it comes to young actors that are out there, very few of them are just simply afforded that luxury. They have to work for it. They have to grind for it. If they fall off, they know that it was their fault because they didn't offer enough value in the long term. But instead of being thankful for the time that she had right there, no. Hewitt is now married to Brian Hollisay, sure, and the pair share 3 children together, Autumn, Atticus, and Aiden. Okay, yeah, so cool. She's a mother or something like that, whatever. I'm the mother of a girl, and it's dangerous. Yo, man, I'm a mother of a girl. Just a girl? You got 2 dudes there, specifically. And it's dangerous what we put on people. I'm the mother of a girl, and it's dangerous what we put on people. Unbelievable. The Ghost Whisperer alum noted. That's probably the one that I most know her from. Didn't watch it, but that's obviously the one. It's dangerous to say to women, you can't look like you're 22 to me anymore. I don't care what she has to say directly to her critics. It's just the fact that, well, she knew why she was called for her roles. She can go ahead and try to recontextualize it as best as she wants, but at the end of the day, if you can't properly diagnose the problem to the downfall of your career, that's ultimately on you. But to just go ahead and try to blame the industry that afforded you every break that you ever had, I'm not going to say I'm shocked, I'm not going to say I'm surprised, I'm just going to say it's typical, and this stuff is only going to get more prominent and worse as we go. It's just, at least she didn't, even though kind of, if you just go ahead and tilt your head a little bit, kind of throw somebody under the bus in a Me Too type scenario. But I'm sure if there's a failed marriage on the horizon, not saying that there is, not wishing for that either, probably saving a couple of those accusations, keeping them in her back pocket. But hopefully for her sake, if she needs to whip out some of those other accusations, she loses a couple of pounds because that back pocket's looking a little tight. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.